Morning, guys. Hope you're doing well. I just wanted to make a quick video. I'm trying to put together some stuff the last few days. It just kind of starts to run into kind of becomes a little too much, too long. Start rambling. Um, there's just so much going on, and it's kind of hard to just even wrap your head around it. Um, I just been watching a lot of videos on YouTube and people that I like, people that I follow. I just watched one with David Rodriguez. He's an ex-professional heavyweight champion. He does a channel, and he's heavily censored on YouTube, and a lot of censorship with him because he's a pretty blunt guy. I mean, he just comes out and tells like it is, which I like. But you can't listen to those people can't function on that platform because they go after him. The censorship is really unbelievable. So but this video, I was just going to tell you about an experience I had. This last week before Babaji's birthday. So they had a birthday celebration 2 days. I had to work one of the days, but I was able to do 3 out of the 4 meditations. And so they do these big group meditations. And I've been weaning myself off of coffee. So I'm a pretty heavy coffee drinker. Probably drank a pot a day, and which is, I think it's about 6-7 cups. I don't know the cups I use, so it's quite a lot. And I finally just decided it was time to get that addiction over and work it out. So I've been cutting back. So you can imagine it makes you feel a little edgy, and I wasn't feeling super great the other night, and I was just my mind just starts running on stuff, and you can get just all out there with stuff, and I have a tendency to get a little to go a little emotionally overboard a little bit sometimes. Definitely see it in my family, and not, I mean, my family, but I'm talking about like generationally, and I can see why. I inherited some of that, a lot of that, and so I've been working through that with this lifetime. And I was getting kind of just, how you kind of start thinking like, oh man, I need to, you know, I need a new life basically, and I just got this nudge, and I attribute, I get, sometimes I get like little inspirations, but they're a little more than inspiration. It's almost like someone's actually telling me something. It's like I almost can hear it, and I always attribute it to Babaji. So I'm pretty sure that's who it is, and I just got this message, and the message just do the practice. In other words, just do what's in front of you. So I'm doing the heartfulness practice, and I've hemmed and hawed about it. I mean, I've been doing it really regular, I would say, pretty much as regular as you can, and dedicating myself to it pretty good, and I feel like I'm doing it, but I'm always thinking in my mind all the time about, oh, this and that, and oh, I'm doing this, and oh, I'm doing that, and I'm always second guessing, and this message was just very much along the lines of just do the practice, and that's all you have to do. You don't have to be a psychologist. You don't have to be a master meditator. You don't have to be master yogi who's got all the answers to life. Just do the practice and then live your life. And so I did my cleaning, and it was great, and I felt a lot better the next day. Felt clear and felt good. And so the reason I wanted to bring this up is because with all this, especially people who are sensitive, with all this stuff going on right now, it's very difficult to keep your center and to keep balanced. And it's this focus on the divine that keeps us balanced. And I notice whenever I start drifting, the turbulence becomes rough. It's have you ever watched, or that's a good example. So let's say you're driving on the freeway and there's a big truck in front of you. There's a sweet spot, right? We used to draft off cars all the time, okay? I know it's illegal, but back in the day, when I was a kid, gas was, they had all the gas shortages and everything. People would draft off these big trucks and basically get, twice as good a gas mileage. So, but there's a certain point where you get caught in the wash, where the flow from the truck comes back over you and it's real turbulent and choppy. That's the place you want to stay out of. And when you're doing a practice, I think that place is where you start merging this ego consciousness, this self-consciousness with this absolute, and it's choppy water right there. It's a choppy place to be, because you're not trusting, you're not giving your trust to that, and you're not giving your trust to that godly energy. And I had an example at work, and I've talked about it before, but it's really perfect for this example. We had a baby we resuscitated, and it turned out to be one of the moms was one of the nurses at the hospital, and it was very traumatic, and I knew her well, and I didn't know at the time we were resuscitating the baby. Luckily, I didn't know it was her baby, so that was a good thing, because I could do my job in a detached way, or as detached as you can be, and I was just doing my job, and after I found out, and then of course I was just shocked, and it was just stunning. But the baby's heart rate came back at 14 minutes, which if you work in healthcare, you know that when you have resuscitation, the longer it goes on, the more chance of, obviously, that there's going to be brain damage. And when the brain becomes anoxic, it swells, and then that causes, basically it hemorrhages, and you die. And so what they do is they cool people that have a cardiovascular event. Now they cool them for maybe like 48, 72 hours to actually cool the body temperature to keep the swelling. Anyway, this baby heart rate came back at 14 minutes, and I was just thinking terrible, catastrophic things. I was like, oh my God, there's no way, we just basically created a vegetable. I mean, I was having horrible thoughts, and I was getting on the elevator, and I wasn't thinking about anything, but I was just feeling terrible. And this was later, and I got this sensation, this presence came, and it just said, we've got this now. And it was this higher level, this godly energy, and I didn't have to do anything else. Okay, the point of this is, I didn't have to do anything else. All I had to do was my job, and I did my job. I did my job really well. We all did. We did our jobs very well that day, and that's all we could do. And then the rest of it goes into God's hands. And that's exactly what we're dealing with right now in this situation. We did our job. We went to the polls. We voted for the person we wanted. That was stolen from us, but it's in God's hands now. Now, that's not saying we should be apathetic, but there's only so much we can do. And so, it's just, we have to let this thing roll itself out. I think there's a massive amount of awakening happening right now. This David Rodriguez, his little podcast was talking about Mike Lindell. He's the pillow guy, and then he was actually I remember he was at the White House. President Trump had him speak. He had some other business leaders speak one time, and Mike Lindell was he was addicted to drugs, crack, I think, and he actually turned his life around, and he dedicated himself to God. He became a Christian, and anyway, he went on the Jimmy Kimmel show, which is, Jimmy Kimmel obviously is, these are demonic. This Hollywood stuff's very demonic, and a lot of negative energy there, and I think Jimmy Kimmel's show has even run out of a what used to be a now I can't think of what it's called. I can't think of it anyway. Out of one of those temples they used to use for the Masonic Lodge, I think it's called. Sorry about that. So he went on the show, and I guess I didn't watch it. I don't watch stuff like that because it's just too upsetting. But it's a hit piece, and that it's Daniel going into the lion's den, and I guess Kimmel tried to really really tear him up, and this Mike Lindell just kept his composure, and one guy described it in the comments. It was like a grandfather dealing with his grandchildren, just kind of chuckling and laughing it off, not getting hot. And I guess Jimmy Kimmel got red-faced, and he obviously it exposed the demonic energy is what I'm getting at. And so when we maintain our composure, in this godly energy, and we know our job, right? We know our job, whatever it might be. At that moment, we become clear about what our job is, and then we let God do the rest. It doesn't mean we're sitting on the couch. We're doing our life. We're doing what we're supposed to do. Not comparing ourselves to everyone else, just doing what we're supposed to do. Because there's a special energy, a special presence that we bring to the world. And that's what we're here to expand. It doesn't mean we have to be whatever we might think we might have to be. We might have these, we've been taught what success is, right? Like success would be Jimmy Kimmel, right? Well, do you really want to be someone like that? I don't. I'd rather be really humble and really simple. And Paul from Pockets of the Future was talking about Babaji, and Babaji was so, people came from all over the world to see Babaji, and this was back before the internet, and people came from not just India, but from other countries, and they would come stay with Babaji and, spend time with him and receive transmission. And but Paul was saying that Babaji's neighbors couldn't believe it, and even relatives and neighbors of Babaji would be like, people are coming to see him? Why would they be coming to see him? And that's just how humble, and Babaji wasn't out there proselytizing and pushing himself. He was just exuding this godly energy, this this presence, this divine energy, becoming a transmitter of that divine energy, and people came to him. He traveled all over the world seeing people and doing visiting people and stuff. So I think it's important to understand that, and we don't have to be we're not all supposed to be doing everything. And that's one of my things in my life is I always compare myself, and even in my profession, I thought, I should have gone back to school. I should have done this. I should have gone into that. And when we saved that baby that day, I realized that my whole life was really, my whole career basically, I felt was validated in that one 14-minute period. And that's what it's about. It's about being where you're supposed to be, where God puts you, and being the biggest light you can be in that place, and not try to be something you're not, because that's what dims your light, is when you try to be something you're not. And it's a challenge. It's very much a challenge, and it's something I work on all the time. But just do the practice, just do the practice, show up, do your best, and then let God have the rest. All right, I hope you all have a good day.